You wish that was you, huh?
Nah, but what's up guys, Modern here, and today we're going to be learning the basics of editing. If you do go on to enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you enjoy this type of content. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Alright, well before we get started, make sure you have the following installed. Okay, and now we just need ourselves a clip and a song. And for most of you who know me, I don't really play Fortnite that much.
The guy you should stay away from.
Assault Warden.
Yep, he is actually so good. I recommend staying away from him.
Best player I've ever seen.
Yes, yes.
Damn! What the fuck?
So I asked my friend Pigeon to help me get a clip for today. Today I'm going to be covering syncing of the clip and also getting some cinematics. Now I'll be covering the other aspects such as effects, composition, color correction in another video, so make sure you stay tuned for my channel as I'll be posting those later on. Alright, now to begin, let's go to the top and click composition, new composition, and making sure you have the HDTV 1080-24 preset. The reason we have it on 24 FPS is usually for montage editors we have that on 24, but for highlight editors they have it for 30 and 60. So now we're gonna click OK, and we have our composition here. I usually edit in third for just in general with editing. I don't really care about the quality until I want to view it in the final render, but making sure it doesn't matter, usually it depends on your PC, but I have it on third. Now let's drag in our song of choice. Fast or slow song will depend on your syncing. Usually fast songs have not as much syncing as compared to slow songs, so it's completely up to you, but today we're going to be doing a pretty fast paced song. So we have our song now in our composition. Now what we're going to do is double click on the song and double click L, which will bring up the waveform, and what I usually do is I just drag it to where I usually want the song to start and just play around with it and just see where you want your song to start. So alright, so we're gonna move it just a bit forward. About there is good. Alright, now we're gonna find where we want our key points to be for the syncing of the clip. So you usually just listen throughout the song and just find where you want the beats to be and where you want the kill to be. Alright, so basically I think I want my kill to be there on that beat right there. So basically what you want to do to add the marker, you go to the bottom right and find this icon and drag that over to where you want the kill to be. So that will be your first marker there. And if you look, you'll see how there's like the lump. You want to make sure you matched it to the beat, because sometimes you won't really see it and you'll just think you've heard it, but make sure you've matched it on the beat. Yeah. And now I'm gonna also mark where I want my cinematics to be, so I'll just go ahead and do that real quick. I can drip on the ground too, so my hood let it down too. I can decide. Okay, now that I've synced all the beats, what you're gonna do is grab your clip and just simply drag it above the song. Now the best way to do this is you find where the kill is and where you want the kill to be, and just simply drag the clip all the way until you find the kill. Alright, so yep, so there's the kill. And making sure you want it on the beat with the kill where you see the bullet shooting. That's where you want it to go. So now what you can do is just go back a bit and just double check that you've got it on the beat. Perfect. Now also you can hear the clip in the background, so you don't want that, unless depends on how you want it, but usually we don't want that. So at the bottom left on the clip, make sure you click that audio icon and it will mute the clip. And now you just have the clip by itself. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do, just go back a bit, and how I'm gonna structure this, I'm gonna have a cinematic just before the clip. So let me quickly just find that. Right there. So I'm gonna drag another marker and just put it there. And then the next beat will be where I want the clip to start. So I'll just drag it into the beat where it starts. Perfect. And then what you want to do is to simply cut the clip. Just click Ctrl+Shift+D and it will cut on the marker, and just delete the section that you don't want with your delete key. So now we have the clip, the markers, and we have it perfectly timed. So let's quickly just play over and see if we have it right again. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is, I usually like to have a little build up before the kill. So let's quickly find that as well. Right there. Usually you do it just when you see the shotgun being pulled out. So I'll drag another marker and put it there. And then you find where you want your clip to end. I usually put it where I want the cinematic to go. So I go to the next marker and just simply cut, Ctrl+Shift+D, and delete the right side of the clip. So now we have the whole clip, where we have the clip, the start of it, we have the build up just before the kill, and then the kill itself, and then we have the empty space that's going to be filled with cinematics. I'll cover that also in this video. Alright, so first we're going to start with the syncing. So what we want to do is go to where you want the build up to be and where you want it to slow down. And what you're going to do is Ctrl+Shift+D and cut on that marker. Then you're going to click Ctrl+Alt+T, and what that will do is it'll bring up the time remap, and that's where you'll be able to sync your clips, slow them down, make them fast, and all sorts of things there. So what you're going to do is click on the dot on the bottom left. That will add a keyframe, and you'll add another keyframe on the kill and another one at the end of the clip. Now the next thing you need to do is simply just highlight all the keyframes and click F9 on your keyboard. If you don't have F9 on your keyboard, just simply right click keyframe assistant and easy ease. Now what you're going to do is making sure you're not selecting all the keys, and select out of them, click out of them and select one of them and just click onto the graph editor. Now this may look a bit confusing, so let's just zoom in a bit. So we'll just click on this to zoom in a bit. And to navigate, what I use to navigate is my middle mouse button. I just click hold and hold to navigate around. So make sure you do that so you don't get confused. Alright, so let's go to where we're just about to slow down the clip. What you're gonna do is turn on frame blending. This will add frames for you, so there's no frame loss. So make sure you add frame blending to your clips. And now what we're gonna do is simply grab the left handle and drag it up a bit. So you wanna just put it down a bit and put the right one also down so it looks like this. Now for the kill, I usually have my graphs where I usually have the left one up to here, and I pull the right one while holding shift as well, so it locks on. I pull the right one all the way to the left while holding shift, because if I let go of shift, I can move it left, right, up and down. But when I hold shift, it locks on, and just pull it all the way to the left, let go, and then pull it down just a bit. Now let's have a look what the clip looks like while it's synced. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Alright, so let's just fix it up a bit. It's a bit too sharp. So what we're going to do is go back into the graph editor and move the left one down. So it's a bit slower coming in, and then it speeds up when it goes to the kill. Alright, so we've just synced the clip. We've put the build up and the kill. Now what we're going to do is go into Fortnite and get some cinematics. So I'll see you there. Alright, so for getting your cinematics, what I recommend is making sure you have your settings at epic for everything. So what we're gonna do is for the camera settings, I like to have my exposure at a decently high number. My focal length, I put it at about 50 to 85, depending on the song, depending on where I have my cinematics. And for my aperture, I keep it very low. Aperture is basically it's basically the blur around an object. And autofocus, I usually have it on, so I don't have to keep making sure I have my camera on the object that I need to record the cinematics. Also make sure I have my speed at 0.10, no less. Like I said, it depends on your song. You could have it at, whatever speed really, but for this example, we're gonna have it at 0.10. And my camera speed, I like to have it at 0.1x. That's my preferred speed to record your cinematics. I do also recommend you guys have a controller. Doing this on mouse and keyboard is pretty hard, so I don't really recommend it. You can get a cheap PS4 controller anywhere these days, so I highly recommend you get one before you start doing this. Okay, so getting our cinematic, we're gonna start by getting one for the start of the clip. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the cinematic and we're gonna go in a forward motion while also focusing on the skin. So making sure you're moving forward with your left stick and looking at the skin with your right stick. So I'm just gonna do that right now and I'll talk to you after. Alright, so after we have our cinematics down and we have them in our sequence, let's go ahead and grab the first one and drag it onto the timeline. And now we're gonna just scroll through and find where we want the cinematic to start. So just go to where you want the cinematic to start and right there. And then Ctrl+Shift+D, cut the left side out. And what we're gonna do is Ctrl+Alt+T, go into your timer mapping and make sure you always mute your clips. And now we'll make a keyframe at the start and go just before the clip. And what you're gonna do is go to the timer map and go to where you want the clip to end here on the numbers. Hold left click and just drag to where you want the clip to stop. So I'd say about there. So what you'll see now is just the sequence of the cinematic from the start to finish. And what you'll do is grab the keyframe where you've just made that. It'll make a keyframe by itself automatically after you drag the number. And what you're gonna do is drag that to the end of the cinematic where it starts the clip and cut and delete the right side. Now if we just play it with just how it is, it's gonna look, it doesn't look as good as you can see. So what we're gonna do is as before with the other clips, we highlight the keyframes, F9, and go into the graph editor. Now with this one, usually it varies how you want the graphs to look like depending on the song. So how I'm gonna do this one is raise the left one by a good amount and lower the right one by a decent amount. I'd say about that, like that. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. So I'm just gonna quickly put this and put this lower, I'd say. Yeah. Maybe lower the right one. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay, so we have the first cinematic down. Looking pretty good. Now we've got these cinematics after the kill. Now I recommend you try and not just put any cinematic, try and make ones that fit the clip so it makes sense, so it flows well. And also don't forget to save your work, making sure you click Ctrl+S to save, and making sure you always save. Now what I usually do when I finish with a cinematic, I like to go and click on this box and change the color to red so I know I've used it and so I don't get myself confused. And now we'll go and get the other cinematics and I'll just quickly do that. Alright, so now we have all the clips synced with the cinematics, and if you have a quick preview, this is what it looks like. Okay, so it's looking pretty good so far. The next video I'll be covering how to do pan and crop, and add effects and all of that. So be sure to stay tuned, as I will definitely be posting those later on. Okay, so if you're going to enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to comment and let me know if you have any questions. And I hope this helped, and I'll see you guys in the next one.